Hey everybody, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic with our host Kirby Kid,
Simply Cedric.
also known as David Clark.
Cedric Harris.
And today we are talking about My Hero Academia, chapter 267. It's a pretty good chapter, I think.
It's war. War has been declared.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So we get a flashback, for Hawks. Basically, this kid's whole childhood was been taken, which kind of
Yeah.
sucks. They kind of brainwashed him and trained him up to be basically the government's tool. But it was interesting when Dobby was fighting him, and he was like, "You killed twice," and he's like, "Yo, you don't fight somebody whose friend's just been killed." And he's like, "Oh, I burned out my or all my tear ducts have been burned or something," I'm like,
Yeah.
you are also just crazy. So I mean, there's that too. But
Yeah.
and then Hawk's talking to Birdhead guy.
Oh,
Tokiomi.
Tokoyami?
Tokiomi. I always have the hardest
Yeah.
time remembering his name. But yeah, my one weakness, probably fire. It's like, my dude, you probably should have worked on that, like dipped your wings in like some sort of fireproof something or other. But yeah, we're seeing that fire is definitely this man's weakness.
Well, I just like how he's like, well, what are your countermeasures? Because Tokoyomi's pretty uh, strategic and he's a thinker. He's like, so what are your countermeasures? Just finish the job. Oh,
And how'd
okay.
that work out? How's that working out for him right now?
Not well. Not well.
Not well.
But there still is the mystery of how there's like no information on Dobby. Like there's no one. He like they couldn't get any information on him, and also like he knows Hawk's real name.
Right.
So I still think it goes back to Dobby being Endeavor's son.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I mean,
Um,
I definitely think that's a son.
yes. But that and then how fitting would it be for someone who's became a hero because Endeavor saved him, and then someone who became a villain because Endeavor birthed, or you know, is there?
Right.
He's the prodigy of him.
And like there was this one panel when he was like like flame stomping on Hawks, where like Dobby was drawn in like in silhouette. He looked like Endeavor, like his hair, even his hair, like everything. He looked like he was Endeavor right there. And I'm like, if this man is not Endeavor's son, like Horikoshi has been trolling us for years.
Which I mean, it is possible, but I mean, My Hero has kind of it's not one of those mangas where all of a sudden it's like, oh, left turn. They takes pretty, things seem pretty logical step by step. But he did. He looked like Endeavor. I think the whole eyelids being burnt is kind of a nod to Todoroki, and him being having physical alterations to his body due to his quirk. Um, but I thought the interesting part was like Dobby saying he's the manifestation of Stain's will,
Right.
which is interesting because like Stain's not something that Dobby like talks about a lot, but it would fit with him again being Endeavor's son because Stain would say there are no real heroes. There's only one real hero, and that's All Might, and everyone else is just playing at being a hero. And if you're the son of Endeavor, you're most likely thinking, yeah, there are no real heroes because this guy who's my father, who's supposed to be the number 2 hero in the country, is a piece of trash.
Right.
So,
But Deku's here.
yeah, but Dobby hasn't got Talk No Jutsu yet by Deku, or these hands no Jutsu. So like he hasn't had the interaction with Deku on like that could turn him, I believe, or with
Right.
Shoto even, like, or because Shoto's even kind of like, yeah, I hate you, but you are my father.
Dude, poor
Um,
Rabbit Girl, dude. She lost her arm. She got a leg pierced through, which means she can't punch, she can't jump and run, which is like her whole thing. Then like the last panel, like her ear got sliced off a little bit.
But she pulled her leg through being stabbed. She's pulling through that kick still.
Yeah, that's gonna really wreck her leg for life, dude. There's gonna be a lot of heroes who are gonna be retired after this.
Well, yeah. There's gonna not only a lot of heroes gonna be retired, but my two favorite things from this was the doctor's reaction to Bunny Girl finally getting through, and Giganto Machina.
Yeah, dude, him looking at the radio means he's getting orders finally.
Well, not only is he getting orders, but like he's about to step out, and the evolution that he caused Tomura to go under in the My Villains Academia arc, he's a tough cookie, no matter which way you cook it.
The only person who can go toe-to-toe with Giganto Machia is 100% Deku.
At the moment, he's the only one, yes.
But he needs Eri to do that, though.
Either Eri, or he finds a way to not break every bone in his body, which we still don't know if that's possible.
Or either he uses Nana's quirk of float, or he gets with Uraraka, lower his gravity, just punch him in the space. Just punch him in space.
Yeah. But it's interesting that Tomura's not going to be able to get fully through his power up, which I think is good for the heroes.
Right.
Because if he would gotten all the way, it would have been horrifying with his no touch decay and everything else.
I think he'll get 100% when Deku gets his 100%.
Yeah.
Just to match it out, you know.
Well, if anything, he's going to get his 100% kill All Might and then face Deku at 100%.
Right. Dude, like I'm thinking though, the scary part is not this battle; it's what comes after. Because, like I was saying, there's going to be a lot of top heroes retiring, which means not only did you lose the symbol of peace, you now lost the 9 people under him. So I don't think if Endeavor makes it out of this, he's not going to be in any combat state. So number 1's gone. Number 2's on fire right now. Number 3 just got pierced. you know.
Yeah.
So things aren't probably going to go so great for the other ones. You know, we still don't know where Best Genius is. You know, Hawks may have killed him.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you still got Kamui Woods.
Yeah, you know, my Hashirama guy.
Yeah. And Cementos and Mountain Lady. But I mean, Endeavor was kind of on his last leg anyways. I do think Giganto Machina is going to kill him this arc.
Well,
and his dream is to have a life where his family doesn't have to deal with him. So if he's not around, they literally don't have to deal with him.
He's dying for sure. Like he is not going to see the end of My Hero Academia. That is clear. There have been too many death flags.
Oh well, yeah. Bunny Girl, I think she's lost an arm. She's probably going to lose a leg.
I think she's going to die. No, she's dope. I think she dies here though.
Yeah, I don't. Plus, I think like the cover page was it had like a poem with her.
Yeah, it's a send-up.
Yeah.
And, and then, I mean, who knows? Endeavor might still get there in time to save him. Because remember, Endeavor's at the hospital. He's not at the raid.
True.
So he might get there in time, maybe to save her, or maybe see her die, which I think will also go to change him. You know. But it's looking all kinds of bad. And then of course, dude, you know, with the villains acting like they've been totally caught off guard, I wouldn't be surprised if this is when they're going to do a jailbreak from Tartarus. So like the heroes maybe deal a small blow. Maybe Giganto Machia hurts them enough where it's like a lot of heroes are down. The villains haven't really lost anyone important besides Twice. You know.
He was just numbers.
Yeah, he's just numbers. But like, if they lose just Twice and Giganto Machia takes up the rest, and they like kind of like retreat, right? They've lost a lot of their best heroes. They failed their big mission. And then on top of that, if they do that, and then also follow it up with the jailbreak from Tartaros, and All for One, and Stain, and all those villains get out, now their ranks are replenished for anyone they may have lost, And then All for One will probably complete Shigaraki's transformation.
Yeah. I definitely think we're getting to the all is lost moment of the series. Because obviously, there needs to be something for the hero to overcome, which has always been, Tomura and, the League of Villains, or the superhuman whatever they're calling themselves now. But they finally got the money, because at first they're like, well, we want to do evil stuff, but we have no money. They got the money and stuff from not only the Liberation Army, but the Yakuza. They got numbers from the Liberation Army. They have a platform through the Liberation Army. It's not just, we want to do hood rat stuff. It's just, oh no, we want to do hood rat stuff because of, the whole, you can't suppress quirks without causing imbalance in the world.
Right.
So, but it's interesting because even within that, there's a schism between, the philosophy of the Liberation Army and then the philosophy of Stain. Because obviously Dabi is like, I'm the ultimate manifestation of Stain's will. So he's more of the Stain philosophy, but other people are probably going to be more...
I think, though, if they break Stain out, I think the villains are going to be in for a rude awakening. I think Stain is not going to side with the villains. Because they already tried to get him once, and he said no.
Yeah.
They're gonna break Stain out, and Stain's gonna start killing villains. Because the heroes may not be real heroes, but you for sure aren't heroes.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I think was cool too. Is the last issue, there was some silhouettes of Hawks against Twice, and he's silhouetted out, and he looks evil. There's a panel with I'm just keep calling her Rabbit Girl. I forget her name. I think in the last panel, her face is kind of blacked out, and she looks kind of, evil. Endeavor comes flying in, and he's always towing that line of good and evil. I always go back to Hirokoshi said he was inspired by a run of Spider-Man comics. That Spider-Man had to work with some villains, and the line was blurred between what's a hero and what's a villain. And you see that a lot in My Hero because, yes, there's All Might. He's the clear delineation. But everyone under him, it's a little bit of both. Bakugo is obviously kind of bad.
This is why
bad.
This is what I've always said about Bakugo and Endeavor. They are just simply villains that found a convenient way to live. I think that's what a lot of these heroes are. These are basically villains who otherwise would have found a way, or didn't have an outlet, other than hero work.
And if you go back to the very first episode of the anime, there were heroes who were standing there like, oh, our quirks aren't really suited for this. Let's wait for other heroes to come and help us. Where there's a kid dying, like Bakugo is being violated by this sludge monster, and heroes are standing there like, oh, well, our quirks aren't suited. Let's wait. And Deku with no quirks, like, oh, I need to get in there.
Right.
There was ones who would the popularity ratings, number 1, 2, 3, whoever. A lot of that had to do with how the public perceived you, and were you popular? It didn't matter if you were a good hero or if you stood for justice or you helped grannies across the street and defeated villains. It was well, who's popular?
Right, because All Might was number 1, but I think in terms of actual crime solved, I think Endeavor had more crime solved.
Yeah.
All Might was just more popular.
Yeah. And same with Hawks. Hawks is number 2, and he's like, I'm coming for the number 1 spot because I want to live an easy life. But Endeavor's, he's default number 1 because All Might's not there. But Hawks is right there because everyone loves Hawks.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting time. This is definitely not the fun My Hero Academia anymore. This is definitely going to be the serious part.
Well, ever since the My Villains Academia arc, which it was amazing, it's gotten a lot darker, like exponentially faster.
Right. And I can't wait to see Deku learning more and more of the quirks, because he's going to need them. Like, especially Float, if he's going up against Shigaraki, he needs to not be touching things.
Well, and that exactly. The float is just going to help negate the no touch decay, but Black Whip, uh, One for All, whatever other quirks are available to him in his powers tree that he hasn't unlocked yet, those are going to be what helps him win. But I think if the villains have a time to be on top and start throwing the world into darkness, he's going to have to learn fast, which
Right.
will help expedite it.
It would be interesting though if the villains win and the heroes have to go underground in Japan, and not now they're the outlaws, and then that would definitely cause us to get heroes from around the world because they would have to get a message out. Like I could see an entire arc of them being underground, and then like a whole big mission of trying to like fight your way through just to get somebody out to go tell the rest of the world what's happening. Because
Yeah.
since they control communications, obviously you can't just send a text out.
Yeah.
Like that would be a cool way to bring in some other heroes. Like for example, if you read the Vigilantes side manga, there's a hero from America who's in there, who him and All Might have they've met before, and he's a pretty cool hero. It'd be cool if they could bring him in, and you see heroes from around the world, and have them come and help Midoriya's Class 1A basically take back Japan. Because
Yeah.
at this rate, they're not going to beat the villains. That's
Well,
not
it's
going to
just
happen.
interesting because right now, their attack strategy has gone off almost without a hitch. It's been pretty easy. They've hit every spot they're supposed to. They're getting in. Denki absorbed all the electricity. Mountain Lady's busting on the door. Spentos busts down the door, but they've got one. The hero's got twice. He's dead. But at the same time, Hawks is almost down. Miracro, whatever, Rabbit Girl, she's almost down. So, with how easy it's been, once Giganto Machina and the rest of the main villains get involved, I think it's like what you were saying. I think they're going to be pushed underground because
Right.
this isn't sustainable
Well,
for
and
the
also
heroes.
sustainable. But don't forget though, there's also like Off One will get out of prison. If they have twice his body, he can take the quirk from twice his body. And let's also not forget, there's a vampire in the League of Villains who can take your blood and use your quirk. All right,
Yeah.
and she just happens to be twice his best friend.
Yeah.
Toga is going to take his blood, and like I think it was the more she understood her target or whatever, like the better she was able to like to transform into them, and then eventually use their quirk, which is why she was able to use Ochako's because she's been watching her for so long. She's been with Twice every day. She might go crazy and hoard all the blood that he has.
Well, I think she said the more she understands him and the more blood she has,
And
the
she's got
longer
a
she can
lot of
go.
blood.
And well, yeah, because he freaking melted in front of her.
Yeah, so all she has to do is go find his body, and don't worry Twice, I'll get the heroes back for you. And then she can do
Yeah.
a sad man's parade, and then it's over.
Well, just Giganto, like how he doesn't tire, and he
Right.
just is nonstop,
Can you
and
imagine
very
if
goal oriented.
she copies Gigantomachia?
That would be crazy. That would be nuts.
Like what they would have to do is they would have to get Deku back to Eri and tell Eri, like, I know you don't know how to control your quirk, but I need you to let it run wild again. It's just can you imagine like backpack Eri, let's go, because Deku at 100%, I think is more than a match for Gigantomachia. Because
yeah,
because that could be air walking,
yeah.
just yeah, it's crazy. Like Overhaul was like, "Oh yeah, I exist." And Deku was like, stop it." Like one punch, he was like, "Oh well, there's my arm. All right, well." Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, but they're the only way out of this is for the pro heroes to realize it's not going to work, and they tell the kids, go underground, stay safe, go get help. Because I can definitely see the older heroes doing that, like letting the next generation get away.
Well, I think Fat Gum is already starting to do it, like with the Fat Gum train,
Yeah.
like where he just sucked up and he's
I
running
love Fat
around with
Gum.
them.
I love
He's
Fat Gum,
awesome.
which means he's gonna die.
Well, I think he's gonna lead. I think he might become the de facto leader of the kids because if you remember the overhaul arc, like they're like Rock Lock and a few of the other heroes, like, what are these kids doing here? This is ridiculous. We don't need high schoolers here dealing with adult stuff. And Fat Gum's like, whoa, they're heroes. They might be in high school, but you haven't seen them in the field. They got tons of heart. Sun Eater, Red Riot, they are legit heroes. So plus they have information we need, so we can work with them. I think he might become the de facto leader
Which is why he'll
of
die.
the. Well, yeah.
But see, Cedric, like, all right, so let's try and call what happens after this. I think what's going to happen is the older heroes are going to realize it's a lost cause at a certain point. They're going to send the younger heroes away. Um, using their influence and power over everything, the villains will take over Japan. They'll cut them off from the rest of the world. They will free all the villains from Tartarus. Obviously, Stain's going to be a problem for them, but whatever. They'll make heroes illegal and make unlimited use of your quirk the thing. And I think they will hold an execution, a public execution of all the heroes, and they'll either save All Might for last, or they'll start off with All Might, and then there will be a scene of Deku and them having to watch that and knowing that they can't fight back because they're outnumbered, and then I think they'll go from there to trying to get the message out to the rest of the world. We need some help, and then time skip. Because it's shonen, you gotta have a time skip.
Right. I do think that's gonna happen. The only difference I could possibly see is they run to America. Because the movie is canon.
It is canon,
Uh,
so they do have friends in America.
so there is knowledge of other heroes in other places. If they go to America and then there, Deku can find out the secrets, to One for All, and he can just unlock, just grind through a bunch of levels, unlock a bunch of the quirks. But I think it would hit harder if they were like in America, and All Might and Endeavor and all the adult heroes like, kids, go. We'll survive here. Just go until we can get you back when it's safe. And when they're in a completely different country, All Might gets executed on TV. They're like, we literally, it's not like he's down the street or in the next province that we can get over to. He's way, way far away, and
Right.
we can't do anything. Like, literally, our power is being stripped from us. We can't do Jack Diddley.
And then
And then he dies.
I would love to see the return arc when they go back to Japan, which would be a whole different place at that point, and then trying to fight the way back up there. Now if they kill All Might on TV, like, first off, I think All Might will die with a smile on his face because he knows that Deku will be watching.
He is part of the Willa D.
And yeah, right. Like I'm pretty sure he will be able to even get out a last message to Deku too. Kind of like how when he fought off of one, it was like, it's your turn.
Yeah.
He'll get the message out, he'll die, and then what I can't wait for is the hands Deku's going to give out when he gets back to Japan. Like,
Well, it's like, dude. Well, I don't know if you're gonna do like a One Piece time skip or what kind of time skip they're gonna do, but just like a Deku, because he's already like grown, like his musculature has gotten bigger throughout the series already. If like 2-3 years, he's a few inches taller. He's put on a whole bunch more muscle. He can deal with his quirk now. Aries a little older. She can deal with her quirk now. Because I think Aries really key to getting Tomura back to just base Tomura.
Oh yeah, I think they'll use her. Like she'll come in the final fight, like when he's like in the heat of battle with Deku, and just touch him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude, what if she touches him through a decay, reverts him back to his regular powers, but she gets killed or something?
Well, something, but I definitely think she's gonna be the one to be like, oh yeah, you got that power up, boop, reverted back to normal.
That would suck. But of course, they also haven't even really touched on the quirk stealing bullets. Like, 'cause what happens if
Yeah.
the kids run, or maybe even just Deku gets to run, and what happens if they just inoculate everybody against powers? Like they depower all of Japan, and then start exporting it to the other villains around the world.
Yeah.
Like
that is possible. Yeah.
So then, Deku comes back and he's just by himself. And I would love for him to come back and they're like, Bakugo's a villain now because he's like, all right, whatever, I'm a villain.
And then, of course, because he's popular in the last arc, he comes. Oh no, it's a double cross.
You're right.
Double cross.
Like they would capture Bakugo and they'd be like, we offered you a chance once. This is your last chance, and he'll say yes because he knows it'll be a chance to betray them.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though, we still haven't figured out who the traitor in UA is either.
Yeah, there was. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. There hasn't really been talk about it. Because it's all the focus has been on Hawks being, a double agent inside the Liberation Army.
All right. It could be Hawks.
It could be Hawks. I still think it's like the principal or was it Moma, that annoying guy from Class B.
Oh, I don't think it's him.
I don't know. I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Oh yeah, no. He's trash, for sure. But they could just. I was gonna
say, or they could go the complete opposite direction and just like someone we haven't seen before. But just bear with me for a second. We just had a big traitor revealed in One Piece, and like the whole plan to defeat Kaido got leaked to Kaido and his forces. But it was someone who's been around for like hundreds of chapters, and it's been like right next to them the whole way. And you're like, okay, we kind of thought it was this person, but come on.
Is somebody that I would know?
The painter, the terrible painter.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were saying something like Brooke or or like.
Oh no, it's not one of the Straw Hats. Oh no.
Like if it was a Straw Hat, I would assume the internet would burn down.
Oh no. Actually, it's pretty hyped because Jinbei just showed up, so the Straw Hats are full.
Oh really? They're all together again?
Full powered. Yep.
Did they all pose for the end shot?
Well, no. It just the last issue, Jinbei had like Kaido's forces are like about to ship or sink Luffy's ship, and like a Kamehameha just comes out of the water, and then Jinbei goes on this monologue like, "Behold, it is I, Jinbei of the Sea, helmsman of the Straw Hats." And Law and a few other people like, he's joining the Straw Hats? What? This former warlord is joining the Straw Hats?
It's like, yeah, he's the main character.
And then he's like, sorry for the monologue, but like you told me to come back alive, Luffy, and I'm here.
It's funny. But yeah, dude, like what right now what's happening in My Hero? This is definitely a turning point. This is going to be some madness, man.
No, it's definitely revving up to the end game. We're not in the end game yet.
Not yet.
There yet.
Not yet.
But it's definitely revving up because we've talked about in other senses of it, but there's definitely a changing of the guard now that the All Might era is done. Something has needed to happen, and the villains taking over and subjugating Japan to their whim is significant.
Right. And I think they'll get their liberation that they asked for. I think they're going to get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because again, you have the number 2 hero, number 3 hero, number 1 hero. 2 of the 3 of them are in dire straits. One of them doesn't almost killed himself in his last fight.
Best Genius is dead. We think possibly.
He's possibly dead. So I mean, Mountain Lady, she was an up and comer at the beginning. Yeah, she's an established hero, but she's still an up and comer. Kamui Woods was still on the outside.
So think about this: whenever the Hulk has fought Ant-Man or Giant Man, how has that gone for Giant Man?
Not well.
Gigantomachia.
Yeah.
Mountain Lady.
Yeah.
it's not gonna go well.
No.
Oh man,
she's gonna get wrecked. I think Fat Gum is doing the right thing by fat taxing them all away, like the kids. But even still, Dark Shadow Tokoyami, he was able to get out to save Hawks.
Right.
So it's definitely there's definitely going to be a few deaths, I believe, or not deaths, retirements, because it's a shonen and
Oh no, I think there'll be deaths for sure, but for sure retirements.
Oh yeah.
Because these heroes are not going to be if Mirko or Bunny Girl, if she somehow gets out of this, there is no hero feature for her. I don't know to the extent of what Recovery Girl's healing ability is, but I don't know if she can bring back
an arm. Yeah.
She might be able to get her legs back up running. Well, also depends on how damaged her leg is after what she did,
Yeah.
So it'll be rather interesting, to say the least.
I mean, she could have that cool battle scar on her ear with her ear getting torn up, but the arm is gone.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have mechanical arms. I don't know. Maybe Hatsume. Maybe Hatsume is like, you need support gear, and she creates an arm. I don't know. But as of right now, she's in her last leg.
Huh.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, that's basically everything that happened in this chapter. Kind of all my thoughts on it. Do you have any thoughts, Edward? Any more thoughts, or are you good?
No, that's pretty much everything.
I feel like we didn't go too off topic. I feel like we're getting better. But guys, we know the world is collapsing right now. The apocalypse is here.
The event has happened.
Exactly, the snap has happened. But we're going to try and be here for you guys every day with some new content. We have a Demon Slayer video coming up next, so if you're into Demon Slayer as well, just stick around and check it out. But until then, guys, we've been your host, Kirby Kid.
Simply Cedric.
We'll see you later, guys.